not just someone they desire, not just someone they care about, not just someone they think about when the heart feels lonely. To them, you are becoming the person who feels like both home and fire at once. The one they can laugh with, the one they can soften with, the one they can imagine building a life with and still wanting to kiss like the world disappeared. And that is why this energy feels so rare, because it is not only romance, it is not only friendship, it is not only longing, it is the deep realization that the same person who understands their soul may also be the person their heart wants to choose completely. The first card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This card says the bond is real, mutual in spirit, and much more emotionally meaningful than surface behavior may have shown. The Two of Cups is what happens when two energies do not only attract, they recognize, they meet somewhere deeper than convenience. So this person may feel very quietly or very strongly that being around you is different, easier, truer, more emotionally alive. There may be a natural flow between you, a way of speaking, a way of understanding, a way of feeling seen without having to over-explain every part of yourself. That kind of connection changes people. The next card appearing here is the Six of Cups. And this is so beautiful because it says that part of what they love about you is the emotional innocence between you, the comfort, the trust, the sweetness that may exist even in small conversations. This is the card that says someone feels safe enough to be softer around you than they are around most people. You may feel familiar to them in the most tender way, familiar in the way a heart feels when it stops bracing. And when someone finds that kind of softness in another person, the bond can move far beyond attraction very quickly. It begins to feel precious. The next card appearing here is the Lovers. Now the reading opens wider, because this card says the emotional and romantic pull are no longer separate in their heart. They may not only feel friendship with you, and they may not only feel passion with you, they may feel both at once. And that is exactly what is making the connection so profound. This is the energy of someone realizing, you are not only someone I want near me, you are someone I want with me. The Lover says the bond carries choice in it, real choice. The kind of inner choice that starts changing how a person imagines the future. The next card appearing here is the Queen of Cups. This card says your energy may feel deeply healing to them. You may listen differently, care differently, hold space differently. They may feel emotionally understood by you in a way that has become rare in their life, because it becomes more than I like you, more than I'm attracted to you. It becomes I trust you with my heart. The next card appearing here is the Ace of Cups. This is where the emotional truth overflows. Because the Ace of Cups is the card of love rising, becoming fuller, becoming too alive to stay tucked away behind normal behavior, this person may already feel that what exists between you has crossed beyond casual affection. The feeling may be growing, opening, pressing upward. And that is why the title of this reading feels so exact. You're my best friend and my lover, because that may be the closest language their heart can find for what this bond feels like. The next card appearing here is the King of Pentacles. This matters deeply because it says the feeling is not only emotional intensity, it may be becoming serious, grounded, future-oriented. The King of Pentacles is someone who wants to keep what matters, build around what matters, protect what matters. So if this person is saying, even silently, I need you in my life, it may come from the realization that your presence adds something irreplaceable to their world. Not only love, not only excitement, stability, meaning, a sense of home. The final card appearing here is the Ten of Cups, because the Ten of Cups says this person may already be imagining emotional wholeness with you. Not only a beautiful moment, not only chemistry, but a life that feels happier because you are in it. The kind of life where friendship and love do not fight each other, they deepen each other. So the message coming through is very clear. This person may feel that you are not only the one they love, you may be the one they trust, the one they miss in ordinary moments, the one who feels like emotional peace and desire at the same time, the one who turns companionship into something sacred, and that is why the feeling here sounds like this. You're my best friend and my lover. I'm all in. I need you in my life. It is already that deep now. A gentler truth opens here, and it feels like the heart is no longer trying to separate what you mean to them into neat little categories. Because some connections do not stay in one lane, they begin as ease, as understanding, as the person you can talk to, laugh with, breathe around. And then one day, the heart realizes that the same person who feels like comfort also feels like desire, like devotion, like someone you cannot imagine losing without feeling emptiness open inside. The first card appearing here is the Three of Cups. This card tells me that joy is part of your bond, real joy, lightness, friendship. The kind of connection where conversation can flow, where laughter can happen naturally, where being together does not feel forced or heavy. This person may genuinely feel happier when you are in their space. They may feel more like themselves around you, more open, more alive. The next card appearing here is the Page of Pentacles. This says your connection may also carry care in practical ways. They may think about how to stay present in your life, how to show up, how to keep the bond growing instead of letting it drift. The Page of Pentacles is the card of sincere effort, small gestures, thoughtful beginnings. So this person may not only feel deeply, they may also be quietly thinking about how to make what exists between you steadier and more real in everyday life. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Cups. Now the emotional current becomes impossible to miss, because this card says romance is moving through the bond more openly now. Not only affection, not only closeness. Romance, the Knight of Cups, is someone whose heart wants to move toward love in a beautiful, meaningful way. So even if this person values the friendship deeply, their feelings may no longer fit inside friendship alone. They may want to speak more softly to you, look at you longer, be closer than before. The next card appearing here is the Four of Wands. This is such a beautiful sign because it says they do not only want passing closeness, they may imagine real togetherness, shared joy, a bond that feels secure enough to stand in proudly. The Four of Wands is the card of emotional home. So when they say, even silently, I need you in my life, it may not come from dependency in an unhealthy way. It may come from the realization that life feels warmer, steadier, and more whole when your energy is part of it. The next card appearing here is the Devil. And this is where the intensity becomes very real because yes, there is sweetness here, but there is also hunger, attraction. The kind of chemistry that can make a person think about you long after the conversation ends. They may feel protective of your place in their world, and at the same time intensely drawn to your body, your energy, your presence. This card says the bond is not innocent in the simple sense anymore. It may carry passion strong enough to make them feel almost consumed by how much they want more than friendship from you. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Pentacles. And this is where the reading becomes deeply serious because the Ten of Pentacles is not only about affection or longing, it is about a life stability, the future. So this person may already be asking themselves what it would mean if you were not only the person they confide in, but the person they build beside, the one who stays, the one who becomes woven into everyday life. They may feel that your place in their future is becoming undeniable. The final card appearing here is Temperance. This is the blessing over everything. Temperance says the love here is not chaotic in its core. It may be deep, it may be passionate, it may be almost overwhelming at times, but underneath it there is harmony, the sense that the pieces fit, friendship and romance, comfort and desire, peace and excitement. This person may be realizing that with you, they do not have to choose one or the other. So the message of this part becomes very clear. This person may love the way you feel in their life just as much as they love the idea of holding you closer. You may be the person who calms them and the person who stirs them, the one they trust with the softest parts of themselves and the one they ache for in the quiet. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may be making this bond feel so important is that they do not have to become someone else to be loved by you. Around you, they may feel accepted, understood, and desired all at once. And that combination can be life-changing because when a person finds someone who feels like best friend and beloved in the same breath, the heart often stops searching anywhere else. A deeper vow begins to breathe through this reading now, and this is where the connection stops looking like just strong feelings and starts looking like a soul-level bond that wants a place in real life. because there are some people who enter the heart as romance and some who enter as friendship, but very rarely does one person become both the safe place and the irresistible place. That is what this energy feels like. The first card appearing here is the Two of Wands. This card says this person is looking ahead now, not only enjoying what exists in the present, but quietly imagining where all of this could go if they let themselves be completely honest. They may already be asking bigger questions in private. What would life feel like with you truly beside them? What would happen if this bond stopped living in half-light and finally became something fully chosen? The Two of Wands is vision, and the vision here may already include you in a very lasting way. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. This tells me their emotions have depth, but also gravity. This is not the kind of affection that blows in one day and disappears the next. The King of Cups loves with loyalty, tenderness, and emotional steadiness. So even if they do not always reveal every feeling with perfect ease, what they carry for you may be very real, very mature, and much deeper than casual attachment. This person may already know that your place in their heart is no longer small. The next card appearing here is the Lovers. And here the reading becomes unmistakable, because the Lover says they may no longer be able to pretend this bond is only friendship or only attraction or only emotional comfort. It is all of it. It is the realization that the same person who understands their soul is also the person their body and heart keep reaching for. That kind of bond is rare. It can feel almost overwhelming when it becomes clear because it asks for honesty, it asks for choice, it asks to be treated as something sacred. The next card appearing here is the Six of Pentacles. This is beautiful because it says they may want balance with you. Mutual care, a relationship where both hearts give and receive openly. They may not only want your energy near them, they may want to pour back into your life with the same sincerity you give. This is one of the clearest signs that they are not thinking about you only selfishly. They may genuinely want to show up, to support, to share life in a real way. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Wands. Now the fire returns, because even with all this emotional depth, they are still deeply drawn to you. Passion is alive here. Spark is alive here. The urge to touch, kiss, hold, and close every inch of distance may still move through them very strongly. So when they think, you're my best friend and my lover, it may not feel contradictory to them at all. It may feel exactly right. You may be the one they want to laugh with and the one they want to lose themselves in. The next card appearing here is the Star. This card says there is healing in this connection too. Hope, peace. A kind of emotional honesty that feels clean and almost sacred. They may see you as someone who brings them back to themselves, someone who reminds them what real connection is supposed to feel like when it is not forced, manipulative, or empty. That kind of healing can make a person want to hold on with both hands. The final card appearing here is the Ten of Cups, and this is the great confirmation. Because the Ten of Cups is emotional fulfillment, shared happiness, a life that feels fuller because love has finally found the right place to live. So the message of this part becomes very clear. This person does not only feel chemistry with you, they do not only feel friendship with you, they may feel that rare, life-changing combination where trust, affection, desire, and emotional peace all live in the same bond. There is one more layer here too. Part of why they may feel so all in is that with you, the heart may not have to divide itself anymore. They do not have to choose between comfort and passion, between safety and excitement, between being understood and being wanted with you. All of those doors may open in the same place. And when a person finds that, they often realize they are not looking for anyone else. They are looking at the one they want near, the one they want beside them, the one they want woven into everyday life, not as a passing chapter, but as someone essential. That is why the energy sounds like this now. You are my best friend and my lover. I'm all in. I need you in my life. Because some bonds are beautiful, some bonds are intense, but this one may feel both. And that is exactly why it feels so irreplaceable. And now, their heart may be realizing this is not a passing bond. It is a life one. And this is where the bond begins to look less like a beautiful feeling and more like a chosen path. Because there is a moment in certain connections when the heart stops asking, "What is this?" and begins asking, "How do I keep this in my life?" That is the energy breathing through this part of the reading. The first card appearing here is the Four of Wands. This card says they do not only enjoy your presence, they may feel at home in it. There is something about the way your energy meets them that feels welcoming, grounding, and safe enough for joy to open. The Four of Wands is celebration, yes, but it is also shared space, shared warmth, the feeling that life becomes lighter when the right person is standing inside it with you. So when this person thinks about you, they may not only imagine romance, they may imagine belonging. The next card appearing here is the King of Pentacles. This tells me they are not viewing this bond as something fragile or temporary. The King of Pentacles wants continuity. He wants what is meaningful to remain, to deepen, to become part of real life. So if this person is saying inwardly, "I need you in my life," it may come from a grounded place. Not emotional panic, not fantasy, a rooted knowing that your presence adds something irreplaceable to their world. This is not only desire, it is value. The next card appearing here is the Ace of Cups. And now the emotional truth rises again, because even with all this steadiness, the feeling is still fresh, living, overflowing. The Ace of Cups says the love is not drying out as it becomes serious, it is becoming fuller, softer. More honest, they may feel more open with you than they expected to feel with anyone, more emotionally awake, more willing to let the heart speak. That matters so much because it says the commitment energy here is not cold structure, it is living love. The next card appearing here is the Emperor. This is powerful because it says they may want to show up with more intention now, more clarity, more reliability. The Emperor does not want to drift around what matters. He wants to take responsibility for it. So if they are feeling all in, it may be because they no longer want the bond to stay in an undefined place. They may want to protect it, name it, and stand beside it with strength. The next card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This card confirms, again, that the connection is mutual in spirit, not one-sided illusion, not one heart speaking into an empty room. The Two of Cups is resonance emotional meeting, the sense that another person's soul fits somewhere real in your own. So when they call you best friend and lover in the same breath, it may be because that is genuinely how the bond feels to them. Deeply affectionate, deeply magnetic, shared. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Pentacles. And this is where the future opens wide, because the Ten of Pentacles is not about a passing season of love. It is about lasting structure, legacy, a relationship that becomes part of the architecture of life. So this person may not only want you in their life right now, they may want you woven into what comes next, and what comes after that. They may be looking further ahead than they have admitted. The final card appearing here is Temperance. This is the blessing over the whole message. Temperance says this love feels balanced to them in a way they may not have expected to find. You may calm them without dimming them, stir them without destabilizing them, heal them without asking them to become someone false. That is rare. That is sacred. And when someone experiences love that feels both passionate and peaceful, they tend to understand quickly that they do not want to lose it. So the message of this part becomes very clear. This person may not only love you intensely, they may love the life they become when you are in it. The laughter, the comfort, the honesty, the desire, the sense that the bond is not draining them, but aligning them. There is one more layer here too, part of what may be making them feel so certain. Now is that with you, closeness does not demand self-betrayal. They may not feel like they have to split themselves into pieces to be understood. They can be soft and still strong, passionate and still safe, open and still respected. That kind of connection changes what a person believes is possible in love. It turns wanting into devotion. It turns affection into decision, and that may be exactly where they are now, no longer circling the feeling, no longer testing the truth of it, no longer trying to reduce it into something simpler than it is. They may simply know. You are the person they want near. You are the one they want beside them. You are the one they do not want to lose to distance, fear, or time, and heart, once it knows something that clearly begins building around it. And this part of the reading feels like the moment where love stops being something they only feel when you are near, and become something they carry through everything, because some connections are beautiful in the moment, but others begin shaping the whole inner world. This one feels like the second. The first card appearing here is the Nine of Cups. This card says your presence is not only loved, it is enjoyed. They may think about you and feel their mood soften. The Nine of Cups says you are connected to emotional pleasure in their heart, and that kind of association becomes very powerful over time. The next card appearing here is the Lovers. Now the reading becomes even more direct, because the Lover says the bond is no longer being experienced as casual affection. It is being felt as a meaningful union of heart, desire, and choice. You may not only be someone they love being around, you may be someone their soul has started choosing. The next card appearing here is the Six of Pentacles. This is beautiful because it says they may want reciprocity with you, not one-sided longing, not hidden love with no shape. They may want the giving and receiving of real partnership. The kind of bond where care moves both ways and neither person has to wonder whether they matter. This card says they may not only want your affection, they may want to create emotional balance with you in a very lived, practical way. The next card appearing here is the Devil. And yes, the intensity is still here, because even with all the tenderness, there is still hunger. Pull that undeniable magnetism that keeps making them want more closeness, more time, more touch, more access to your world. The Devil here does not cancel the love. It intensifies it. It says the chemistry may be so strong that it has become impossible for them to separate emotional attachment from physical longing. They may want to laugh with you, talk for hours with you, and at the same time feel that deep, consuming attraction that makes the whole bond feel almost impossible to shake. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Cups. This card says their heart may already be imagining what all in would actually feel like: shared happiness, shared peace, shared life. The Ten of Cups is the emotional dream of love that does not only visit, it stays. So when they say, even inwardly, I need you in my life, the card suggests they may mean that in a full way, not as a dramatic line, as a real truth. Life may simply feel more complete in their mind when you are part of it. The next card appearing here is the Knight of Pentacles. This tells me something very important. Their all in energy may not always be loud, but it is sincere. The Knight of Pentacles is devoted, careful, and willing to build slowly, if that is what real love asks. So this person may not only feel intense emotion, they may be willing to prove it over time. To stay, to show consistency, to make the connection sturdier instead of simply admiring it from a distance. That kind of energy says, I am not only overwhelmed by this bond, I am willing to tend it. The final card appearing here is the Sunday, and this is the blessing over everything, because the Sunday says this love feels alive to them, clear, warm. True. You may be the person who brings out both softness and joy in them. The one who makes them feel seen without pressure, desired without performance, understood without having to explain every hidden part of themselves. That is why the energy becomes so clear here. You are not only someone they love, you are someone whose presence brightens their life in a way they do not want to lose. So the message of this part becomes very clear. This person may not only be in love with you, they may be emotionally investing in the idea of a real life with you, a daily life, a shared life, a life where friendship, tenderness, loyalty, and desire all live under the same roof. There is one more layer here too. Part of what may make this bond feel so irreplaceable is that with you, they do not have to split themselves in half. They do not have to choose between being understood and being wanted. They do not have to choose between emotional safety and passion. They may feel that you hold all of it. The comfort of a true companion, the softness of a confidant, and the electricity of someone they deeply desire. And that is why the love feels so complete. Because the heart is not saying, I want one part of you. It is saying, I want your presence. I want your closeness. I want your voice in my days. I want your soul beside mine. I want you in my life, not as a passing chapter, but as someone essential. And when love starts speaking that clearly inside a person, it usually means the bond has already moved far beyond simple attraction. It has become a home the heart keeps returning to. And now everything gathers into one final truth, and it feels like the heart is no longer trying to reduce what this bond is. It knows this is not a passing attachment, not a fleeting romance, not a sweet connection that exists only in certain moods and disappears when life becomes real. This feels like the kind of love that keeps proving itself quietly, steadily, and then one day becomes impossible to call anything less than life-changing. The first card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This card says the connection is not only beautiful, it is mutual in spirit. There is real emotional recognition here. The kind that makes two people feel seen, understood, and somehow met in a deeper place than ordinary attraction reaches. So when this person says, even inwardly, "You're my best friend and my lover," the cards say that feeling may already be living as truth inside them. They may not be dividing your role in their heart anymore. You are not in one room while desire lives in another. You may be all of it at once. The next card appearing here is the King of Cups. This is deep emotional devotion, quiet but powerful, stable but full. The King of Cups says this person may not only love you in an excited way, they may love you in a way that has depth, loyalty, and staying power. The kind of love that does not disappear when the room goes silent. The kind that keeps caring, keeps feeling, keeps choosing. So if they are saying, "I'm all in," it may not be a dramatic moment only. It may be the result of a heart that has already gone deep enough to know it does not want to turn back. The next card appearing here is the Four of Wands. This is such a beautiful sign because it says they may not only dream about loving you, they may dream about living that love, sharing space, sharing joy, having a bond that feels safe enough to stand inside every day. The Four of Wands is home energy, celebration energy, the peace of being with the person who feels right. So when they think of you, it may not only stir passion, it may stir belonging. The next card appearing here is the Devil, and yes, the intensity is still part of this story. The attraction has not weakened. The craving has not gone soft. They may still want you deeply, physically, fully. But now that desire is mixed with loyalty, trust, and the urge to remain connected. That is what makes it so strong. You are not only the person they long for, you are the person they may not want to imagine life without. The next card appearing here is the Ten of Pentacles. This opens the future wide because the Ten of Pentacles is the card of lasting love, structure, continuity, and the kind of bond that becomes part of real life, not just emotional moments. So when this person says, "I need you in my life," the card suggests they may mean that in a grounded way, not as dependence, but as recognition. Recognition that your presence adds something enduring to their world, something they can build around, something they do not want to lose through fear, distance, or carelessness. The next card appearing here is the Sunday. And this is the blessing over the entire reading because the Sunday says the truth is warm, clear, and alive. This person may feel happier with you, more open with you, more themselves with you. You may be the one who brings out both their softness and their brightness, the one who makes life feel emotionally safer and more vivid at the same time. That is a rare thing to find in one person. The final card appearing here is Temperance. This is the card of sacred harmony. It says the bond is not only passionate, it is healing, not only exciting, it is balancing, not only intense, it is peaceful in the deepest way. This person may feel that with you, the pieces of themselves do not fight each other, friendship and romance, comfort and fire, trust and desire. It all belongs together, so the message of this final part becomes very clear. This person may not only love you, they may feel that you are one of the few souls who reaches every layer of them, the friend they can lean on, the lover they ache for, the person they trust, the person they choose. The person they want woven into the rhythm of life, not just into beautiful moments. There is one last layer here too. Some connections ask for affection, some ask for passion, some ask for time, but this one feels like it asks for wholeness. And that is why the message sounds so deep now. You're my best friend and my lover. I'm all in. I need you in my life. Because sometimes the heart does not only fall in love, sometimes it finds its person. And when it does, the feeling is not only desire, not only comfort, not only devotion. It is the quiet knowing that life feels more complete, more beautiful, and more true when that person is in it. And that knowing, once it arrives, never leaves at all. Not a sweet connection that exists only in certain moods and disappears when life becomes real. This feels like the kind of love that keeps proving itself quietly, steadily. and then one day becomes impossible to call anything less than life-changing. The first card appearing here is the Two of Cups. This card says the